Did the U.S. National Guard just illegally release private information to a YouTuber? I seriously doubt it, and I'm going to get into the legalities behind it. But first, I just want to point out, without a crystal ball, Katie Joy's hate for Kody Brown and Robin Brown is so obvious, in my opinion. She is literally painting her own storylines and writing her own narratives and pushing it on her nearly 500,000 subscribers, and that's very dangerous. Now, we all know, because Sister Wise fans have already talked about with disgust, how Katie Joy exploited and is still exploiting Garrison Brown's passing. Keynotes, the most recent video, I guarantee you she made about $1,000 off that video. It has over a quarter of a million views in less than a week. And my friends, since I know what views pay, allow me to tell you, Katie Joy has made thousands off talking about Garrison Brown's passing. This right here, when I read this, I said, no, she didn't. Uninvited and mic'd up, Kody and Robin hijacked Garrison's funeral to film fake storyline and create drama, much like she does. She's over here pointing her finger at Kody and Robin exploiting Garrison's death. Meanwhile, she's doing the exact same thing. I want you to take note. In her description, it says Kody and Robin were told not to come, but they did anyway. Well, who in the hell, first off, when you created a child, okay, you created a child, put your personal feelings aside. Without a crystal ball, you don't know these people. Okay, who in the hell would tell you not to come to your child's funeral? I bet you better have several seats, and I'm going to pull up in chairs for you to have a seat in. Anyway, she said they turned a private military funeral into a media circus, pushing a false storyline that painted Kody as a grieved and misunderstood father and stirring tension with the rest of the Brown family. I'm going to tell y'all something. Without a crystal ball, Katie, girl, you over here talking about, hey, besties, you were using my line. I call people besties, and I was the first and only one to call people besties. Now your weird ass is over here calling people besties. But I want to point out how Katie quoted that somebody from the armed forces, and if you listen to her video and trust and believe, we about to, because she goes into detail about who released private information to her. Now, why in the F would somebody risk their life or their job to talk to Katie Joy? I want you to ask yourself that. But could Katie Joy not get in trouble for lying on the military? Because pretty sure she's lying, okay? If not, then you can report her video. You can direct it to the government, because I sure will. Don't worry. She ain't the only one with connections. I actually have connections, but I'm absolutely going to show a few people that are involved with the U.S. government and see what they have to say about Katie making thousands of dollars, claiming these lies and these things just so she could get some views, just so she could get some clicks and views, because she knows people love the drama. So she's here to create it and stir it up for y'all. Katie is the reason people have declining mental health, while she wants to talk shit about other people, like on TV. Oh, they're exploiting their kids. Katie Joy, you exploit everybody and their mental health, okay? Let's just take a listen to her ridiculousness.
Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Thursday, May 8th, 2025. I have some information for you regarding Kody Brown and Robin Brown and why everyone in the family wants nothing to do with them. At least this is alleged by someone that reached out to me who was part of organizing the National Guard's Nevada Service Memorial for Garrison. Robert Garrison Brown, which was held in the end of March of 2024. So if you remember on the show, Kody had said that he wanted to bring Garrison home and bury him in the ground. Well, that statement by him was apparently sent to someone that helped organize his memorial and who was privy to the details of the cremation, the service, and the desires of the family, and also knew that the filming at the memorial of the National Guard was something that no one in the family wanted except for Kody, allegedly. So the put him in the ground triggered them and they reached out to me. And so here's all the details about what went down. And this also might explain when McKelty said last year that something had occurred at the funeral that had caused them to pull back from Kody and Robin and that they no longer support them. And it was behaviors and things that they had done that upset them. And that also why McKelty has said that since the funeral, Kody has not made amends with any of his kids and no one talks to him. In fact, it's gotten worse. So here is what they said went down. If you're familiar, was a member of the Nevada National Guard, and anyone that is an active member of the Guard, when they enter the service, they are offered an opportunity to put together a will, set up a power of attorney, and make sure that anything that they have as far as the military goes is secured and there is a plan in the event that they are deployed and they don't come back alive, or if something happens while they're in service and they die. And so service members have this option to do it when they first join the service or when they go to a deployment. And that's what this person told me. And so in the United States Armed Forces, they have a mortuary services department who coordinates all of the standard funerals or memorials for service members. And they also manage and take care of any of the cremation or burial, along with handling like the 21 gun salute, the honor guard, the memorial service itself, the hosting of the event, and then putting together everything to manage the estate. So service members can have insurance policies, the wills that are provided by the service members to the United States the United States Armed Services is then given to the family so the family knows who is in the will and what happens with the estate. And here's the information on the insurance policies so that they have everything they need to settle the estate. So this person was involved in all of that. And so what they told me might surprise you or maybe it doesn't. But their alleged allegation, and this is their allegation for entertainment and information purposes only, but I absolutely verified that they work for the United States Armed Services. And I also verified that they were connected to this event. So Garrison's memorial was put together. It was all facilitated. So they have the mortuary services is based out of Virginia. And then they deploy to the various areas where a service member passes away, where they have to put together a funeral or a memorial service. And they have an opportunity to do like a standard, like military service, and then they can have them buried in a military cemetery, or they can do cremation. Families can do private burials. It's really up to the families. And so in this case, they decided, based on Garrison's wishes, to cremate him, and there was no burial at all done by the military. So when they were at the service, they said the urn from Garrison was released to Janelle and her sons. And during the entire memorial services, it was the urn containing his remains was in the custody and control of Janelle and her sons. And at the service, as it was leading up to the service, news started getting back to the family that Kody wanted to bring in cameras to the National Guard service to film it for TLC. And they allege that one of Janelle's family members, not one of the boys, not one of the siblings, but a family member, reached out to Kody and told Kody in so many words that he should not come to the event, that they did not want cameras at the event, they did not want TLC there, and specifically that Robin was not to come to the event. Given that Robin's relationship with Garrison was very strained and Garrison didn't like her at all, they were honoring her wishes as well as family members. This person said there was an underlying sort of mood that Kody and Robin's behavior and how they treated Garrison and bullied him and targeted him on the show was a contributing factor to his mental health declining. because of his sadness of the shunning and the public display of the bullying and just how they treated Garrison. And because Garrison was estranged from both Kody and Robin, they didn't want them there. Kody, on the other hand, didn't care about that, I guess. And so he was told not to come, and he was apparently told, don't bring Robin. And so as they were getting everything ready, the hope was that this would not be recorded. The National Guard didn't want it recorded. The family didn't want it recorded. And then at the service, which was held in Nevada, which was technically a public event, Kody shows up with his wife in tow after being asked not to come and not to bring cameras. And he also brought TLC. And so when he arrived, my source said or alleged that the tone in the room completely shifted. Like the mood altered. It was like oxygen fell out of the room. People were upset that Kody was there. And they said that Kody and Robin and TLC like traipsed in like they were celebrities, show ponies is what they said. And they just had this air that they were like high and mighty and that everyone should just be like glad that they were there. They definitely had this sense that they were better than everyone else. That's their impression and how it was perceived by the bravado that Kody had. And that when they arrived, Kody and Robin were already mic'd up, ready to film, which caused people to be upset because they didn't want this filmed. They didn't want it filmed specifically because Garrison had reservations, obviously, about being on the show. He didn't like the show. His last text messages were about the show, and they didn't want this to be exploited by Kody. And they didn't want the storyline to be morphed into being about Kody when it was should have been about Garrison. So TLC, despite the fact that many people in the family did not want it filmed this memorial. When they arrived, Kody and Robin were already mic'd up, ready to film, which caused people to be upset because they didn't want this filmed. They didn't want it filmed specifically because Garrison had reservations, obviously, about being on the show. He didn't like the show. His last text messages were about the show, and they didn't want this to be exploited by Kody. And they didn't want the storyline to be morphed into being about Kody when it was should have been about Garrison. So TLC, despite the fact that many people in the family did not want it filmed this memorial. And so when the person found out that Kody said that he put him in the ground, they wanted me to know that if Kody got those ashes, they were not his legally to have. He wouldn't necessarily have been able to bury him because Kody wasn't on Garrison's birth certificate. So on the show, Janelle has stated that Garrison and all the kids were on, that Kody was on all of the birth certificates for the kids. But the person that managed all of this paperwork said Kody was listed nowhere on the birth certificate. So from a legal standpoint, they said Kody was not the father. Kody could say he's the father, but from a legal perspective, he's not considered a father because there's no legal record that he's the parent. There's no paternity test to prove it. He's not on the birth certificate. And when it came to the will, they said that Kody was completely left out of the will. So Garrison had set up a will and he had made Janelle his power of attorney and she was in charge of the estate. And Kody was not a part of any of it. He wasn't listed on the insurance policy. He got nothing in the will. And they said that they would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when Kody saw the will and saw his name was nowhere in the will, because there was also this underlying tension that Kody and Robin were going to try to come for the money. But Garrison took care of that ahead of time and he ensured that Kody and Robin got nothing. So I guess that's a silver lining, is that despite the fact that he died so young, he had his final arrangements already pre-planned. So it made it a lot easier for his mother to manage because she had full control once he died. She was able to be the executor of his estate. She was able to put together and sell his house and close that off. So she was able to take care of anything. And so because when he died and the cremation was done, they said it's a standard service so the family doesn't have to sit with them to decide what was done. uh, because Garrison had everything planned out, they were able to take care of it for Garrison. And then once Garrison's ashes and urn are provided to the family, and it's released to Janelle and the sons. And so they said that at the event, Kody and Robin arrive. The urn is in the custody and control of the sons and Janelle. Nobody talks to Kody and Robin. Kody and Robin arrive with TLC, and TLC films it. Now, why was he there with the cameras? This is the most horrific thing. So they said that Kody was at the event because he had a storyline that he needed to film for his show. So if you want to know who runs the TLC show, there's absolutely no question to me after speaking to this person that Kody dictates how the show is run and what the storylines are. And why he's getting such an edit right now is because this is being driven by Kody. He wants a narrative of being a good father. He wants a redemption arc, and he wants to use Garrison's death to show that he's a grieving father. And the storyline was not just that he wanted to be a grieving father, but he wanted to film to show that he was a grieving father and the family was being abusive and awful to his wife. That's what they allege. So he brought Robin there for drama specifically, not because she wanted to be there, because Robin hated him too. So he wanted to film and make an example of the family and use it as a way to say, I've been alienated from my son and I've just lost my child and my child is dead and this family is being so awful to my wife, which was why they didn't want them there to begin with. They didn't want this on the show. They didn't want them to be associated with this because Garrison didn't want anything to do with them. And they were trying to honor Garrison's wishes and they didn't want to like exploit this for Garrison, but Kody decided to exploit it and there was nothing they could do about it except for those that refused to like be on camera or that didn't get mic'd up. And because some of the women are under contract, I don't know if they got mic'd up. I didn't ask, but they might have had to have cooperated at that point because Kody showed up with cameras. So apparently, once everything he gets there, they say the era changes. And then once they're there, and they're getting ready to sit down, Kody wanted to sit in the front row with Janelle and sit next to Janelle so that he could get the attention of being the grieving father next to the grieving mother. But he wanted the attention on him. And apparently, they said no. And they would not allow Kody to sit next to Janelle. And so they made the decision that Hunter, because he was an officer in the Air Force, would sit in the front next to Janelle, and that Kody and Robin could sit further down, but no one wanted them in the front row. And then Mary was sitting on the other side of the aisle because Gwendolyn apparently needed someone with her, like she wanted to be consoled by Mary. And so Mary was sitting with Gwendolyn and Bea at the request of Gwendolyn. And I don't know why McKelty and Tony sat on the other side, but I asked about that. They just said that Gwendolyn wanted Mary there with her. So she needed like support. So during the service, they explained that there's a protocol in the military that if a service person dies and they are married, the automatic person that gets the flag is the surviving spouse. When an unmarried service person dies, the automatic person that gets the flag and the medals is the mother. And so even though Kody wasn't legally on the birth certificate, he wouldn't have gotten the medals or the flag anyway. But apparently he kind of made a scene at the end because he wanted the flag and he wanted the medals. But instead it was given to Janelle because the standard protocol in the military is the mother gets it. And even if he would have wanted it, he wasn't listed as a next of kin if Janelle would have had deferred to him, but she didn't. So Janelle left with Garrison's medals from the military along with the flag. They said that Janelle's sons were so the three sons of Janelle's, Logan, the surviving, Logan, Hunter, and Gabriel, they described as very polite, very kind, very cooperative, and very protective of their mother. And were very protective of keeping Kody away from Janelle. So when they were sitting kind of in that little clump with Gabriel, Logan, and then Hunter sort of boxing her away from Kody, that was intentional. They didn't want Kody near her. And Cody's entire motive for coming there was not about Garrison. And even while there, the person said that Kody was not acting like a grieving father. When the cameras were on, they said that Kody was like basically trying very hard to squeeze out tears, and so was Robin, trying to pretend like they were sad, but they weren't at all. Like they said it was all for show because when he came in, it was all about like, I've got a storyline, I've got this thing I need to shoot for my show. Can you imagine? Oh my God. I had a feeling when I saw the pictures that something happened like this, but so they said that once the memorial was done, the urn was given with the remains to the boys and to Janelle, and that again, Kody had no legal rights to it. They said once they left, they can't say how Kody got those, and they don't even know if Kody actually got the actual remains.
I don't know how she sounds happy and giddy when she speaks about people that are suffering after, going through a loss of a child. I don't give a shit if you like Kody Brown or not. I don't like Kody Brown. I don't like Robin, but I dang sure ain't about to sit here and laugh at them crying. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's fake. How dare you? How dare you? I want to remind y'all to go back and watch the most recent episode where Janelle said out of her mouth what Kody Brown done after Garrison passed away she thought was perfect. Janelle does not have a problem with what anything is going on about anything. Why does Katie have any right to speak on this, make a lot of money off of it, and literally get people so irritated they come to my comment section and are ugly to me? Child, I've been directing people right back to her channel. I'm like, you better go back to Katie. Child, ain't no room for hate or negativity over here. Not when people are going through the loss of a child. That's a human being. You better put your personal feelings aside. I said what I said, and I mean what I say, ma'am, Katie. I want y'all to be careful when you watch her because she is very mean-spirited, evil. She tries to say anything and do anything for the money. And then while she's pointing her fingers, that's how she makes her living. She thinks she's over here exposing people, but she's really exposing her damn self because she's doing the same damn thing, is she not? I'll wait. You know she is. But anyway, Lord, I hope this video gets as half as many views as her hateful ass video did. By the way, I want y'all to go use that video and go share it with the government, because I am. And I'm going to ask those government employees how somebody that's in charge of a military personnel's remains, how can they be so quick to just email a YouTuber like Katie Joy and expose all the personal information for the drama, for the clicks, the views, and the money? Curious, how they going to risk their job because you seen it, you read it, Google it. It's free, Google it. They could not only get fired, they could go to jail. Please like and share this video. Share facts, share the truth. That's how all this misinformation and these lies that get spread, that's how they get overshadowed. If you share the truth over and over and over again, share it. Katie just did that for clicks and views. I said what I said. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to the realness. Also, if you want to check it out, I've been calling people my besties for quite some time over on Patreon. You better ask somebody. Clearly, Katie Joy knows she done asked somebody. That's why she calling everybody her besties now. Imitation is the finest form of flattery. I just want to say, I see you, girl. I know what you're doing. And most of us do as well. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell beside subscribe. Make sure it's set to all so you'll be notified whenever I upload. You can catch a brand new episode of Sister Roz every Sunday exclusively on TLC at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I love you for watching. I'll see you in my next video or in the comments below.